So now that our door is set up and working, what we can do is start configuring our setup for zones. So the zones, what they're going to be is I'm going to go ahead and make just a quick little section here. I'm going to duplicate this wall like so. Duplicate this one. Didn't mean to fly with it. Like so. And I'm going to move my barricade to be the blocker in the middle. All right. Just let's make sure the spawn point's not in it. It's pretty close, so I'm going to move it just this way some. Then take our spawn points and simply move them closer to the door. So now the zombies should not really have any way of actually getting through here. I'm going to lower these. Make it high enough, just high enough so the navigation mesh isn't on top, even though they shouldn't be able to jump up on it anyways. And let's just check and make sure they are actually stopped. They keep walking to the door, and they just come to it. I bar the door, and now they're free to come through. Come through. So that's good. I'll go ahead and save it. And what I'm going to do is move. Right, well, I'm going to get rid of these last two, or last three. So there's only two spawn points. And I'm going to have one here and one here. So this is going to be zone 0 or zone 1. This one's going to be spawning on zone 1 or zone 2. I don't know if I'm going to start. I'll just start from 0. So this will be a kind of our way to test it. So now what we can do, let's go back into our, let's see, we're going to go into our spawn point. And what I'm going to do, make a protected section. Let's do view property, edit anywhere. Category is equal to, let's see, Nazi zombie settings. And what I'm going to have is a reference to the door. So class A barricade. Did I spell that? It looks like it's spelled right. Call it linked barricade, like so. And then I'm going to go and on override begin play. So virtual void begin play, override. Go ahead and call super. And what we're going to do is in our barricade, I'm going to create a another U property. And I'm going to give the name, going to be UN8. I'm going to call it gives or access zone. And I'm going to give it a default value. I'm going to give a default value of 0. So we're going to be starting at 1 for our access zones. So 0 is just going to be kind of default, not really going to matter. So then I'm going to make a public function. I'm going to return a uint8. Let's call it get access zone. And what this is going to do, it's going to return access zone. And from our Nazi zombie spawn point, we're going to get the access zone and set it. So what we're going to do is we're going to return access zone like so. Yep. Then we're going to include our barricade and our Nazi zombie spawn point. And inside of, let's see, begin play, we're going to get our linked barricade, and we're going to have a variable, and we're going to set it to access zone. So let's see. And I'm not going to make it a U property, just going to do a UN8. Let's do access, or let's call it just zone. And zone going to be equal to, well, first let's do a check, make sure it's valid. So if linked barricade, then zone is going to be equal to linked barricade get access zone, like so. And by default, I want to set zone to be equal to 0. Well, no. Let's think here. Yeah, we'll do 0. So whenever we go to actually do our initial like begin play run, where we pick all of the actors, let's see, we're not spawning. We're going to want to sort this out a little bit differently, but I will get to that later, and we'll kind of figure it out from there. Let's see, or should I go through and let's see here. Actually, you know what? I'm going to change this up, I think. I'm going to make a public function. Public function is going to return a barricade. So class a barricade. Let's call it get link barricade. It's going to return the link barricade. And from there, we can get access to the returning access zone. So we're going to return link barricade. Hope it's not null. I'm going to get rid of this portion here. And what we're going to do is when we spawn it, like when we're getting access to all of the zombie spawn points, what we can do is, for example, spawn point, hopefully IntelliSense hurries up. Come on. Get link barricade, and we can do, well, we need to include it in our game mode. Get link barricade, then we can get access zone. And that'll kind of dictate what section we're going to actually put it in, so to speak. So starting out on 0 and begin play, what we're going to do is we're going to, obviously, we're just going to store all of them inside of here. But because I'm not quite sure on the, I don't want this begin play, for example, to run before this begin play, before it has a chance to set it. So that's why I'm going this route. On the Nazi zombie spawn point, what I'm going to do is I'm going to set it. So I'm going to make a uint8 get zone, and I'm going to make a setter. So void set zone takes an uint8 zone number. So create the definition for get zone. Just going to return zone. And go ahead and close down the editor. Oh my gosh, hurry up. There we go. So return zone, and set zone is just going to set it. So zone equals zone number. Okay, so now inside of here, we're just going to do if spawn point get linked barricade, meaning it's valid. I want to do a barricade, link barricade. What I want to do from here is spawn point, set zone, link barricade, get access zone, like so. So I'm going to go ahead and compile. And what this should hopefully do, it's going to get the linked barricade. Actually, wouldn't hurt to print out a log and print out the value. Zone number and return link barricade get access zone. Wait for this compile to finish. Then do another quick compile. Okay, let's relaunch the editor real quick and try to set it. Right, so let's set this one. So linked barricade is our BP barricade, this one here. And I'm just going to do the same thing for that. Now let's click on our door and access zone is currently 0. Let's just do 150, for example, and see if it prints out. So 150, 150. And let's change this to 1. Prints out 1 and 1. So it is setting the access zones how we want perfectly. So I'm going to set this one. I'm not going to link it. So it's just going to be none because it's going to be a default. So what I'm going to do is if it is not valid, else what I'm going to do is spawn point, set zone. Wait, actually we're setting it to 0 in the first place. Yeah, so we don't need to even do anything. So otherwise it's going to be 0. So this by default is going to be 0, and this by default is going to be 1. So now we need to kind of categorize them. So what I want to do is in the game mode.h, go to where our zombie spawns are, and I want to change this. Yeah, that's going to be all spawn points. I want to make another one and call it active zombie spawn points, like so. So by default, I want to go ahead and add them to zombie spawn points because I want them to hold literally all of the spawn points. But since we're in begin play and this is going to be the first run, what I want to do is I want to set the ones that do not have a linked barricade. I want to set those to the active spawn points. So active zombie spawn points. Why did I spell that wrong? Active zombie spawn points. Dot add spawn point, like so. The heck are you complaining about? You were definitely right there. So I guess that's IntelliSense. So now I'm going to do a quick compile. Oh, actually, cancel that build and go down to spawn zombies. So currently we're accessing and using the zombie spawn points array. We need to be using the active zombie spawn points, like so. And now we can compile. Seriously, I have no idea why it's complaining still. I'm gonna go ahead and close the editor down. It should compile regardless though. Okay, there we go. So let's relaunch the editor and we should have only zombies spawning from that very first spawn point. So if that ends up being the case, the next video we will, right, so it should be only spawning here. None should be over there. So there's 2, there's 3, and 4, and last one, 5. And none over there. So now that that's working, what we're going to do in the next one is set it up so when this door gets opened, we activate all of these spawn points that have the corresponding access zone, so to speak. So now that this is over, I will see you in the next one.